Yo. What up? Good morning, GMGS. I don't even know what day. I'm not going to lie. Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Mando, how you guys doing today?
Doing amazing, man. You can't just act like nothing's happened, right?
I mean, we're right back into it, you know?
Right back into it. What's been going on in your life recently?
Not much, you know. Just went on a quick side quest and came back. You know, just a quick little mission in Florida, back and forth. I'm sure we're I'm sure we'll get back into that. I have to say, like, it was kind of weird waking up in my bed this morning. I woke up, I was like, so do I go back to my life now? And I was like, I kind of really liked what just happened. I gotta keep it going. Look, well, I'm sure we'll get into details of that. Man, I'm sorry, Tyler, how you doing today?
I'm good. Excited to talk to you and hear the story firsthand, I think, along with hundreds of other folks who are listening in here this morning. I am curious if the adrenaline has started to wear off and how long that may have lasted.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it never really like hit hard. It's been just there. Like it was just a nonstop high because it's like it was a weird one. Like I was just always on it. And then the night of, I think it's when it really hit after. Because I was in bed, just like sitting in bed until 5 a.m. after it happened. And so I just couldn't sleep. And so it's been a constant high ever since. And it's not even that. It's like we're still in the thick of it. It's like, okay, now we have to edit the video, which is finished, by the way. So the video will go to the world, the entire interview with Donald Trump. It's like 35 minutes, which is great. It's not too long. It's going to go out now. And I'm not, what's next? And this and that and this. Okay, who's next? What are we doing? How are we putting it out? What are we creating? So we're just like, we're already like, you know, in this mode of like right back into it. You know, we're not pausing for anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, the reach of the interview, I think, was bigger than perhaps I expected it to be. Like, you know, CNN's picking up. I've got several like normie friends texting me, asking me about Trump crypto, like even WLF now. It went wider than I think I could have even imagined.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can talk about the lead up and everything, or whatever you want to talk about, Battle Tyler, because happy to cover it all. And I'm sure people want to know what it was like, because I actually excited to share what it was like, because it was just a surreal experience. But right before going live, so there's a lady that handles like Donald Trump's TV appearances, right? She makes sure he's on TV. This is not like she does all of it. Right before going on, I was already like on tilt because it was like 5 minutes before me pressing the button. She comes up to me. She's like, just so you know, she's like, you got this. She was like, really cool. And she's like, just so you know, every single TV station across America is going to be live broadcasting the audio into the TV with President Trump, because this is the first interview post second assassination attempt. So I'm like, you're telling me this now? 5 minutes before the biggest moment of my entire life and career and everything. And so it turned out that it was true. And then they played it and they replayed it. So it's like the next morning, Anderson Cooper, then again, CNN at 7 p.m. Then Keith Grossman calls me from Singapore. He's like, yo, you were just on TV. And then The Guardian in Montreal, my homies from school, like, yo, you were on CJAD, which is like a local radio. And so it's like really like we got 2.5 million listeners on X so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 50 to 100 million people, more like 100 plus that have heard at least a snippet. I mean, I've got messages from people in the UK, Mando, like from BBC, like my friend Mark Gillespie's like, I was reading this article and I was like, wait a moment. I know this kid. And so it's Calvin Harris's manager, that I hosted back then on Clubhouse. And so they were all like, yo. And then my mom apparently was getting like, just her phone was blown up. And everything, you know, the fact that I'm Persian, so you have like BBC Persian, and you have like all the big news stations just like come in. There's a news station actually called my mom's home.
Really?
Local Montreal. They're coming over in 4 hours, but La Presse, it's a local Montreal one. It's like a big one here. And then I was like, Mom, whatever it is, you say nothing. I was like, you say nothing. I was like, just, I can't answer anything at the moment. Just like, please call my son, whatever. So I'm by the way, I'm sure she did not listen. She went off on like how, you know, how happy she was and everything and proud, but that's good, I guess. And cute. But yeah, it's been absolutely insane. They called me like, we just wanted to know how a Montrealer ended up there with the president, Donald Trump. I was like, we can talk about it. Yeah.
Well, that's where I want to start too. I think I've got a laundry list of questions, but
Let's
the
do it.
top of the list is how did you land this? And this is the number one interview in crypto. I think everyone's acknowledged that. How'd you pull it off?
Okay, let's start from the start. I was in Japan. I mean, you guys know that 3 weeks ago, the last week of August. And then a friend of mine was like, a friend of all of ours, but I'll keep his name private for now, was like, yo, these guys are doing this production for World Liberty Financial, but it's going to be with Donald Trump. Do you want to do it? I'm like, when is it? It's like September 16th. Like, oh shit, that's during Singapore. But like, if it's Donald Trump, we'll cancel things and move things around. So on August 29th, I get on a call with the guys, and actually I knew them from before, right? And I had heard of them and everything, and like the Instagram game, like all that stuff. So they had heard of me and they knew of me, Zach and Chase. And Zach, and I get on the phone call with Zach, right? Zachary Folkman. And so,
who is it going to be if it wasn't you?
No one. I don't know. Like Zach. So here's the thing, and I want to give him his flowers because I'm sure he's listening. Because actually, Zachary listens to the show, and he was like, "I know Rug Radio," and he was like, "I know your morning show." He's like, "It's like the best show. It's my favorite one. I want you to do this." And originally, man, it was actually going to be internal, like something like Tucker Carlson or something like that, because they have access to anyone. So it was not going to be like a Web3, you know what I mean, like a crypto. But then Zach was the one who was like, no, we need someone that's grassroots. We need someone that's native. And there's some names that he didn't want. And he was like, I want this guy. Like I want Farouk. Like I think he's the right guy. And so originally they only wanted someone to come and help produce the Twitter Spaces. So that's why I was connected. I was like, yo, that's the Twitter Spaces guy. Like let his company handle it, Rug Radio, and do everything. So originally, Mando, it was just going to be us handling the backend, the production. And then I proposed, like, it's funny. I was like 10 p.m. in Japan. And I'm on the phone with the guy, and I'm like, yo, like, do you want me to host this? Like, just putting my hat in the ring. Like, do you want me to come and host this? I'll call cancel token 2049 and everything. And then he was like, let me run it by the team. Then an hour later, like, fuck it, let's go. You got the interview. and so let's go. And like, I want to give him his flowers, Zachary, because like, it's all him. Like, he believed in me. He was one of the main people, like, behind the scenes, like, making sure I'm okay, taking care of me. Every single day we talked, like, I had like 5 meetings a day about this. And the hardest part was I couldn't tell anyone. Like I couldn't tell a soul. Even on our team, like it was like we had to make a separate team chat with only the people involved, like Sims, for example, or Jen doing the graphics, or Charlie doing videos. But like even that was like super lip tight. And then for the interview stuff, it was only me and one other person on the dock, because obviously you can't have that leak because now this prediction market is all the fucking stuff on the line, which is insane. So yeah, that's how it landed it, Tyler. They came to us because they knew us, they trusted us, they knew that we were the right people for the job. And looking back at the interview, I think that we did really good, and I'm really proud. And I do agree that we were the right people for the job.
So, and then what was it like? So you turned up at the estate, and I remember when you turned up, and then literally you were like, "Hey, I'm just going in." And I was like, "Yo, there's been an assassination attempt." Like as you arrived, dude, which was just absolutely wild. And I even said to you, I thought like 90% chance that was it. That was it.
So that was the most insane thing ever. So like when we so I went to Florida, Saturday night, late. And then on Sunday morning, so on Sunday, Donald Trump's executive assistant. So the whole thing, by the way, is like you have to give that was the most real part, like leading up to like Secret Service screening, background checks, social security numbers, all the good stuff, right? For obvious reasons. So we had to take care of the crew, this and that. I had like 11 people on crew, right? And then so we get there, and my assignment time on Sunday was 2 to 5 p.m. I could be inside Mar-a-Lago to start setting up the wiring, crossing, like the library bar, at least that, like so that the next day we just go in and we run stream tests all day. So I get there at like 1:30. And so when you get to Mar-a-Lago, there's like a parking lot where you have to go around and you have to go into like this through ID check, and then a big ass tent with like dogs and like, Secret Service, HSI, bomb squad, sheriff, like everyone's there, like all the 3-letter agencies. and I'm there. And as I get in there, so my truck goes first, the van with the equipment, we're second. And all of a sudden Secret Service comes to us. Like they have these like big jackets, Secret Service. And like, are you law enforcement? I'm like, no. He's like, please back away. They were very calm and park on the side there. So we're parking. Then we're parking there for half an hour. I get a call from Zach. He's like, yo, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, is there do people around you like seem like stressed or like really like on tilt? I mean, no, everybody's really calm here. What's going on? He's like, well, don't say anything. There may have been shooting. I'm like, what? He's like, we heard a sniper rifle shot. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, and also don't tell anyone because we can't have this leak because I would have been the source because I knew. So then Zach and Chase get there in their cars. They also get pushed back because there was, at this point, I'm seeing cars come in, like ghost cars. They're all FBI, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 fucking cars, like one by one. And it's like all the different departments, right? And I'm like, okay, something is going on. And so we're just sitting in the parking lot for like 40 minutes, and they come in and they'll just so you know there was an assassination attempt on the president. He was in the golf with Steve Witkoff, and the way we know that is because Zach Witkoff was talking to Zach and Chase. It was on his way. He's like, yo, my dad just called me, and like he said they were shooting at us. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yo, don't say. And at this point, still, I can't say anything. Nowhere. Not in the voice chat, not in rugby, like none of that, right? Because none of this could leak. And all of a sudden, I get a notification, Walter Bloomberg, you know that Delta One account?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, holy shit. And that's why you saw that clip of me going back to the car. The guy was still filming me. And he was like, I'm like, yo, there was an assassination attempt on Trump. So that's what happened. So we were there on the premises, Mando. And then we stayed there like another 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Then, you know, the executive assistant said, hey, come back at 4 p.m. So we went to eat quickly, like the Four Seasons down the street. We had lunch. And then at 4 p.m., like we're closing the premises. And this is where like, fuck, is the interview still going to happen? Yeah. And then they were like, come back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So for me, like for you guys, like on the outside, everybody thought this was off. But for me internally, I was never told no. That's the craziest thing. Like they never told me this is not happening, or they never told me this may not happen. It was always a yes. Always a yes. And not only that, word on the street is that Donald Trump was actually very excited. Called them and said 3 times how excited he was to do this interview. And I'm sure we'll get into details of that. And it was never a question for him not to pull up the next day. Never. It was like, that was the coolest part of it all. So yeah, Mando, me too. I was like, fuck, I did all this thing. But it was never in the cards for me that it was going to be a no. So I was never really like worried about it.
I just think you've had some bad luck with this sort of stuff before. I remember you went to Florida previously to interview the Bored Ape founders. You remember that time? And then literally that week, Gordon left, and I was like, oh, he's gonna be caught up by this, like when it was so close. But then I was shocked. Like the next day when you told me it was still on, I was like, this is gonna be unbelievably big as an interview now.
Yeah.
The timing was incredible. Also, I mean, he canceled his Hawk Tua podcast. So that was one of their first announcements on Monday, I think, was that he was canceling on that, which also like led people to think, oh, well, who knows if he's going to come on the CryptoPod interview.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, that was fire. I mean, look, like, got to give credit to the man. I mean, he's just unstoppable. You know, he just goes. And so
what's he like?
He's really cool. Just
phone keeps going.
Sorry, there you go. Yeah, it's been a lot. What's he like? He honestly was super chill. So here's what happened. Like you guys will probably see in the videos and stuff. So that was the most surreal thing ever. So we're on set, we're setting up. All of a sudden, my camera guy freaks out. He's in the room. He's like, what do you mean he's in the room? We're just in the back. Like, I'm not even dressed yet. I'm still just in my short sleeve shirt and shit. I'm chilling, like, you know, doing my thing. Because we had a back room with the ballroom where like we had everyone, like 30 people in there. Anyways, so he walks in. I don't want to say with who because I don't know if it's out yet or public. So he walks in with like one of the richest men on earth. On my set. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is him. He's right there. He's next to me. Doesn't look at, he was so, and I actually realized that he was so focused on his guests, he didn't look at anyone around. He just focused on him talking. Like, it's almost like we didn't exist, which is kind of awesome. And then went back and had lunch with him. And then this is where like, it's like 7:30 p.m. I get changed, I get ready. I'm like peak stress, peak in my head, peak everybody breathing down my neck, telling me how to do my job or what I should do or how we should start or how what happened. Like, it was like, you don't understand, like, since it was a big programming, like it was like 10 people set to come on stage, plus like a little bit of an entourage. It was like, everybody was on top of me, right? Then you had like this guy with like Donald Trump's account logged into his computer and everything. And like, how does this work? And then on the other line, I have like, this guy's like, yo, Barron wants to talk to you and how we'll do it. So I have Barron on one line. I have the guy with the computer. They call him TikTok Jack. That's what Donald Trump said. It was funny. With Donald Trump, it was just surreal. Like, I have Barron on one line explaining how he can come in on the spaces, and it didn't end up working, sadly, because it's too complicated. They have Donald Trump's account on the other hand, and then I start the spaces. Everyone's like, go, start now. Like, we got to make sure it works. And at the same time, I have someone, I think from X, in the room, And 30 minutes before, like, you can't broadcast this live on video. You're going to break the platform. Like, they were worried that we're going to break the whole platform if we do live like we're doing now, audio and video at the same time. And so I couldn't do it. And so actually that ended up being better because we're going to post a video now. It's going to be even bigger. But anyways, I started the Twitter Spaces. And all of a sudden, this man comes in the room, and you saw that in the last short video I posted, his pin on my profile. He goes, Farouk? And I'm like, yes. He's like, I need you to come with me. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I can't. Like, I just started the Twitter Spaces. I can't come because I had like 20 people trying to come on stage. He's like, I need you to come now. And that's when I understood. It's like, this is a president wants to talk to you. Like, you come now, right? So I go back to the room where that other person I just walked out of, and he's looking at me. Oh, it's a young man, like something like that. Oh, it's a young man here. And he looks at me and goes, we're going to have fun. And shakes my hand. And that was the most soothing moment of the day for me. That is when and then we get in the interview. So that's when Don Jr. leads us. It's Don Jr., Donald Trump, and myself. We just walked in. By the way, we need to do a slow motion video if that's like many men or something. But anyways, we walk in, and this is where it starts. So I tell Donald Trump where he has to sit. I tell him to sit. And you can tell he's a professional. He goes, so how many cameras we have? Cam 1, Cam 2, Cam 3, Cam 4. This one's 2 shot. He knew better than the fucking people setting up the set how this worked. It was sick. And he's there. He's calm. He's composed. And you know how at the beginning I had to I made the disclaimer, whatever. But then at the beginning I had a little like opening speech. But I was so stressed out, guys. Like I was so stressed. I was shaking at this shit because I have Donald Trump staring me down right in front of me. I know we're about to go live. There's 150,000 people live on Twitter Spaces waiting for me to hit the unmute button, right? And as I do that, I had to read it because I couldn't even look at Donald Trump and tell him how grateful I was for being there. And it wasn't a complicated read. It was just me saying, opening the damn thing. And so I'm looking at him and he's staring me down. And while everybody in the world was saying that he would stare me down like in a scary way, I don't know how to explain this. It's going to come off like really weird. And I know a lot of you won't believe me. He stared me down in a way that actually soothed me and calmed me. Kind of like a father, like telling his child, like, just chill, it's going to be okay. Like because he knew I was freaking out. He knew I'm like really young and everything. And this first time, he knew this was like a make or break moment for my life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he looked at me, Mando, like
he didn't give you the power handshake. He didn't come in.
No. Even when he shook my hand outside, he shook my hand like this is gonna be fun. I mean, he called 3 times to say how excited he was day of to do this interview about crypto and everything. Like he actually really, really enjoys it. So all that to say, my experience with him and how he was really fucking cool, dude. Like he was nice, he was respectful, he was kind. And I do want to say, like, the entire experience there, his assistants, his team, you know how like I'm kind of the little guy there? Like I was, who's this crypto bro, right? I look like everyone was just saying who's this Farouk guy? Everyone was like trying to shit on me, by the way. So it's like, but they weren't. Like the team, the people, the Mar-a-Lago staff, Secret Service, HSI. You'd think that there'd be scary guys with like a bunch of guns who's this kid trying to get in? Not at all, dude. They were super kind, super positive, very nice to me, accommodating. Eric Trump called me before the interview and confirmed that I could be me, do my thing. Because at first I was scared. Like, how do I ask my questions? How do I convey them and stuff? Like, what can I say? What can't I say? Eric Trump was like, bro, like, just go for it. Like, do your thing. Do it well. And then Don Jr. was super fucking chill. We actually went and got dinner after that. But I don't know. Like, it was a good experience. Donald Trump was awesome. And at the end, give me that big, it was after the power handshake, Mando. When we finished, power handshake, pat on the back, And he was like, good job. You did great. Very professional. And we went off. So yeah, it was great.
Makes sense. I mean, he's a professional at this. And also like it's in his interest for you to be calm. Like he wants the interview to go well too. Like he doesn't want you to fumble or be nervous. So it makes sense for him to.
I thought I was going to fumble for a hot second.
Things down. Did you like how scripted were you? Like, did you have to submit like all your questions beforehand? Curious about all of that with how like the interview went down. I wrote everything, like my questions, like internally we worked on it. Obviously, like this is what we do best. So I prepared everything. Obviously, like you have to submit your shit because that's just how it is. But by the way, like you can work with like a small time celebrity and they'll still ask you to submit your stuff. Even like a lot of company owners in crypto do that. So just so people know, it's not like, oh, Donald Trump wants these questions at all. They just want to know that you're not going to throw a curveball at him, like, or be the kind of interviewer that you have Donald Trump on air because they don't know me, right? It's not like I've done TV before. So they think about it, they have no idea what to expect from me, right? They don't know if I'm coming and I'm going to ask this, but I'm going to trick him or this or that, right?
which I obviously didn't, and I was never going to. Don't want to burn the bridge, but yeah, I just submitted my stuff, and dude, they like Eric reviews and this, like they didn't even touch my stuff up. Like they let me do my thing, you know. They suggested things and they suggested other things, but they didn't, you know. Like I said, the process was great. Like everybody was cool with me.
I mean, it's a big deal. It was live, right? So like you could have thrown a curveball and he would have had to have responded live. So there is a lot of trust.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust. I had to pass a lot of trust tests leading up to that.
I think as a listener, so I was listening to the whole thing. I was one of the first on the spaces. It was incredibly smooth. So like even like the 5 minutes that you were all muted, I was thinking like, this is going to crash. Like it's definitely going to crash at least once. But I think it got out to an incredibly smooth start. Just like a 5-minute delay, and then you were into it. What were your first hand reactions from like the I think Trump and you ended up talking to him for about 25 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, it was the total interview is 32 minutes.
Okay. You know, what were your like? Did you have a chance to even kind of like internalize what he was saying
at all?
His responses to
nothing.
The crypto question.
Zero. Not until I watched the interview yesterday. Actually, I lived the moment yesterday for the first time when I was rewatching all the footage. Like yesterday, you should see me in the hotel lobby. I got all 4 camera footage. It's like 20 gigs of videos. And Sims is like, dude, I have shivers. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you have to watch this. I'm like, what? I started rewatching the raw footage of all the stories. I'm telling you, we have it on raw. Me going to see Trump before, 20 people trying to get on the spaces, starting the space. Me reading the ad read. Sorry, the disclaimers. This is not. We have it all. Me with Trump during the but the thing is, I was so focused because I had to orchestrate a massive show. Like people don't realize I orchestrated a 2.5-hour show with like 8 different guests, and we had to switch him over because it was President Trump. Then who was Steve Witkoff? I mean, dude, I also interviewed Steve, which was fire, right? Steve Witkoff, like, dude, like he is so fucking cool, by the way. So Steve Witkoff, and then Eric Trump, and then Don Jr. And then I'm told Barron really wants to be on because he really cares, right? It was a family affair. Sadly, it didn't work out, but it's like I had no time to live the moment or to actually even appreciate, enjoy it. Or like I said, I had no time to stress. I had no time to even fuck this up. So I actually lived the moment for the first time yesterday, Tyler. We got the final footage of the interview, and guys, it is so good. I mean, I saw what a lot of people saw. It's because I got a lot of like, I'm really grateful, by the way, for the community. Like a lot of people like listening here, like I got maybe 2,000-3,000 messages. Like it's been really positive. Like it's I see what they saw now. Like that interview was fire. It was good.
Yeah, I think it was the deepest that Trump got into actually talking about crypto, and he talked about NFTs, and he talked about what your question about what surprised him, and it seemed like it was a pretty genuine answer, and perhaps like even eye-opening for him about how people are actually use crypto as money and how fast it can all happen. And then when you got into the discussion with his sons and whatnot, like they clearly have an understanding of the issues in the space.
They do.
They've clearly spent some time.
They're deep. They're all deep. I mean, hey, didn't Donald Trump say Barron's 4 wallets? I thought that was a funny. I think CT loved that one, didn't they?
Yes.
Right.
That was one of the most quotable.
Is it like Barron's got to be like one of the most popular like people on CT, right? Like I think everyone's waiting for the Barron Trump interview. I'll try and work on that. Would be really cool. I got to speak to him briefly before that, and he really
got to get the Barron Trump interview for sure.
Yeah, no, I know he really wanted to be on. It was cool that it was a family affair, by the way. I thought that was really cool. But Eric Trump actually really knows his shit. I was shooting shit with him before that in the back room. Like he was there for like 2 hours before. These guys are pretty deep in DeFi, and then Don Jr. I mean, he loves crypto and stuff like that. So, but you've heard him talk about it before a lot. But I feel like we haven't heard of Eric Trump. Actually, we've never really heard of him. I know he came towards the end of the interview, so we also going to cut my conversation with him and post it later. But I think a lot of people underestimate how much he actually knows about it all. He actually they're all very involved in crypto.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the takeaways I had from listening is I don't know, they didn't go into tremendous depth about what the World Liberty Financial Protocol is. I think we walk away thinking it's DeFi. They're focused on stable coins and liquidity. It seems like there's likely going to be some staking and yield aspect. There's likely going to be this lending aspect of it. And they're very focused on onboarding and trying to make it easy to use.
Yeah.
And perhaps more of a focus on the masses.
No, 100%. That's their focus. Look, we'll see how it all goes down. I know for a fact that they're gonna roll out more stuff. It's just like they're probably limited into like what they can share and when, right? So you know how it works when it comes to crypto, and it's also it's a pretty big name involved. So they're like walking on. I mean, I can say it because they joked about it while live on air, but like they had like 2 lawyers right on my behind left shoulder, like in the back room. Staring down Zach and Chase and shit and stuff like that. So this is how, I mean, that's the game. I mean, even us trying to build Rug Radio, and that's why we talked about it and how crypto in America needs to be adopted, because like we also run into problems, right? Like you run a crypto company in America and automatically like you kind of like treat it like a criminal. So it's like you gotta like, we're all walking on like eggshells here when it comes to running crypto companies. Hopefully that changes. But I can tell you like, I was really impressed, man. Like when you think about Donald Trump, like think about your parents, right? Like how old our parents are and stuff. Like Donald Trump's 78 years old, right? The thing's 78. Like what people expected him to talk about, what DeFi looping on Aave, like Ethereum looping on Aave. No, Eric did, and as he should, and he should know that shit. Like Donald Trump should just know what he knows, and it was great, and you can tell that he's genuinely curious. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I sat across from the man, and that was my read.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was my read too, listening, and it probably passed my expectations. Like I didn't expect him to be he's not the dev for World Liberty Financial. Like what did you think? Like his level of involvement was going to be. And I think we got more answers out of him and more chatter than we would expected. What was your take on the level of depth the team got into? So I think you kept trying to press them, and like you did a good job managing. Like it was a 2-hour interview plus.
Long.
It was a revolving door. Like people were popping out to go on Fox. They're popping out to go on Hannity.
There was a Fox fan parked outside, and they were taking turns at going on Fox.
Yeah, like that came across just listening to the spaces, how like it was this revolving door. I think you kept trying to like drill in. So like what's the vision? How's it going to work? How are you going to keep it secure? I think you got some good answers, perhaps not the incredible depth, but I'm curious for your take.
Drill, baby, drill, right?
I love that.
I love the drill, baby, drill. We were joking about that too. Look, like look. I asked my questions, and they answered to the best of their abilities that they could answer, and I know for a fact that they're gonna come out with more stuff, because we asked them, right? Like hey, like when are you gonna be able to share this and that? Like they were able to share. It was Reg S, Reg D, and that was like registered with like the SEC, etc. So I think they answered good questions. The biggest question that was left unanswered was, or before the interview, was like that 70% insiders that went out, which clearly was. I really wanted to clear that out, because that's also something that people kept coming at me for before the interview. I knew before the interview, obviously, because I did my research and I had to have them corroborate like everything with me before, right? But I didn't want to leak anything, so it's like. I knew it's like while people were tweeting like, "Oh, you're gonna go host this thing." That's all. No, dude. Like I know that. Like I know this is not a fact. I know numbers. I know it wasn't a fact. So I'm glad they cleared that out. Now, the rest it's just gonna be a waiting game, and I know that they're all in now. So you're gonna see a lot come out soon. I think they did good. Like honestly, I again like they were well spoken. Like I know it was Chase spoke a little bit, but it was mainly Zach Folkman. Talking about this, and I thought he was extremely well spoken, and he did really good. I really fuck with this guy. Like he was really like the one who put me on and helped with everything. So it's great.
And what's happened in the aftermath? Like who's in your DMs at the moment?
Everyone, even the people that wrote really mean stuff about me are in my DMs right now, and I'm telling them all to go and write nice things. Like I don't understand. Like the day before the interview, you're literally trying to go viral off my name and shitting on Rug Radio, a little college radio station, in their words, and then they're in my DM saying that I did really good. So I'm like, hey, why don't you tweet that? So there's that.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I shouldn't have asked you.
But no, in the DMs, I mean, a lot of the big news sites and media stations, a lot of the big crypto influencers or whatever you want to call it, a lot of the people that counted us out or thought that
you gained like 60K followers, it seems.
Dude, that's
number one on Fantasy Top. Like you are just Farouk is back as main character.
Dude, that was not a side quest, that was a main quest. You know what I mean? Like that was crazy. Fantasy, honestly, I have to say, Fantasy Top number 1 is what made me the most happy. You guys want something funny? You guys want something funny? Before I checked how many followers I gained, I checked Fantasy Top to see if I did. I did. I checked Fantasy Top to check if I was number one, and I saw a screenshot of me posted that was number one. I was like, let's go. Let's go. And by the way, you can expect me to stay on top of that leaderboard because we're going to post the interview next.
You've got to fucking do a tweet about that main character achieved.
I know, but the thing is, man, though, you know what happens to the main character? Like you don't want to be the main character, right?
Yeah,
like we've been there, we've done that. You know, I was telling Mando and Ovi before like the interview, I was like, I was really happy in my cocoon. Like I've been more like builder mode this cycle, like not the guy that's out there, you know, I'm letting like Thread Guy and all these guys like the new wave or whatever, take the shots, take the hits. But like this like put me in front of everyone again. And there was a point where like I actually like had like really a lot of panic leading up to it. Like not before in Montreal. Like when I got to Florida, I calmed down a bit because Palm Beach was like really soothing. And I went alone. By the way, I went solo, like no fiance, nothing. I just went solo on purpose because I feel like it's something I need to do alone. You know? I didn't want to have anyone next to me at all. And but I guess now we're back in the spotlight, and you know we have some big shit coming up. So I'm already lining number 2 right now. I'm trying to line interview number 2 to. I think I'm gonna bring back the Farouk interview art. You know, I'm bringing back.
Yeah,
You got to get Baron, man. Baron. We all want to hear from.
I know. I may have to go back on Sunday actually. So I have my brother's graduation on Saturday, and then I may get on the first 6 a.m. flight back to Florida on Sunday to go to that dinner.
Oh really? The one that TG spent all that money for?
yeah.
we got 2 invites for Vanessa and I.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, should I go? I'm like, dude,
Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
No, stop it. He texted me to see how proud he was. Dude, like, let's be honest. Like, I genuinely think, no matter what people want to say or not, like, I genuinely think they picked the right person for this because I know how to like the presidential candidate is like. You gotta like.
You're an elder statesman when it comes to CT at this stage.
I know, right? We're boomers.
Yeah.
All the Zoomers were like, "Oh my god, like, why is a boomer getting the interview?" I'm like, probably because I'm a boomer. But how crazy is that?
You're 28 years old.
I'm 30 now, actually, sir. How crazy is that? I turned 30.
Shit.
I turned 30 Saturday, and then the Saturday after, I'm in the room with Donald Trump, and I actually told him that. And he was like, "Oh, young man," and I was like, hey, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's go." Oh my god! So I feel like I have to go back for that dinner because like it's like 100 or 200 people dinner, and I feel like pulling up there, I'm kind of like the guy that interviewed him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
gotta go. So I may have to go back all the way to Florida, and everything. But it was good. You know what's funny? The night of, we all went after to dinner. Don Jr. came with us and a bunch of the guys on the team. And then they all left at like midnight. And the bar closed at 1. I was like, now that everybody's gone, I just want to have a drink, like without anyone around me. And so I ordered things. So the people next to him, like, by the way, everybody loves them there, right? Like, it's their town. Like, they're like super duper fan. Like, they had Don Jr. sign a Budweiser bottle for them, like everything. Like, they would come and take selfies with him. And then they were like, "Oh, you're the kid that interviewed Donald Trump." They were buying me drinks and asking for my autograph in Palm Beach. So like they were buying me margaritas and you know asking for my autograph and everything. So I thought that was hilarious. Anyways, that's that shit. I just realized we're 40 minutes in. I know I'm doing Rec Radio, probably going to talk about similar stuff or about how successful a trader. I am also the best trader on CT, by the way. Can't wait to Rec Radio after that. But yeah. So that was that. I don't know if we covered it all, but yeah.
This is a life-changing moment. I've said it to you then. Like, it really is life-changing. You'll always have that now on the CV. And it was a serious interview. The first interview after his second assassination. That just ratcheted it up even further. So,
I mean, we've been gathering all the news from around the world on it because a lot of people are covering it. And it's just crazy. Like, they're all leading back to it. A lot of people don't want to give credit back to like the Rug Radio channel and stuff because it's media versus media. But like, hey, you know, that's fire. You know, one thing that's crazy? Elon was trying to come up.
Yes. That's what I thought was happening.
It was. But I didn't have my phone. The phone that I had in front of me was not the phone because the roadcaster was across the room. So Sander was on, but it was too many requests. We can see it. One thing that was crazy. Before walking in, it was Don Jr., Donald Trump, and I. Before walking in, Donald Trump goes, and it's him calling Elon Musk. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you see, like, it's stuff like this, like shit that you like as a kid, you would never expect to be in a room at Donald Trump's like estate with him calling Elon Musk, right? Like the second closest thing I had to that was like me hanging out with Snoop Dogg while Tiffany Haddish was there and he was on the phone with Paris Hilton. But that doesn't even compare. You know what I mean? Like,
This is one for the grandkids for sure.
There's one for the grandkids. So we did it, and the photos came out nice, right? You guys like my suit? Did I pick the right suit?
I like the suit. I only ever see you in suits at weddings. So
I know.
I mean, I might hang that photo in my house.
Fine.
Like this is an incredible one. The seated photo, the one that's the main photo of the event. It's
yeah. By the way, where did that photo come from? Because everybody had a photo of me and Trump before I even posted one.
I assume someone from the production crew posted it.
I posted it in the morning. I didn't know who'd done it.
Anyways, it was surreal. It was fun. The videos leading up to it were great. And now we're gonna post a video interview today. Like literally, it's going live on my channel today. And I think there's a solid chance that Donald Trump posted himself. So the show goes on, lads. The show goes on. You know, the team worked. I do want to give a big shout out to my team. Like Sims was on call the entire time, stressing out and the whole thing, running the whole thing from the UK. Nello and that crew. So we lost 4 men, by the way. We were down 4 people walking in. So we were at skeleton team. So I only had 5 crew in the end, or 4 crew present there. And we had the incident the day before, which means that we had to set up, test, stream, and prepare all in the same day. So we were at Mar-a-Lago on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Wow.
Right.
And I forgot to eat. So I had to have someone run out and get us some food, and some cables broke and everything. It was crazy because you can't Uber Eats food to Mar-a-Lago, and the chef is not there because off season, and the chef only cooks for President Trump. So, it was a lot. Like I literally had a guy bring me like a little like Cliff Bar so I could like stay alive. It was great. Yeah. Anyways, that's that. Should we get into the market?
Yeah, we can do the
market if you want to. I can do the market if you want to. I think it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Do we want to get into stuff?
I mean, maybe for the last 10 minutes of it, why don't we do a little market report just so people know? Because I mean, of course, there's a lot of new followers, a lot of people that are going to be new to their show now. We also show Monday to Friday. Mando, you know, our fearless great Mando usually goes through all the market report. Probably the best market report you'll get on CT every single morning for the first 10-15 minutes of the show. We usually don't ramble for 40 minutes before starting. And Tyler, one of the best people when it comes to like gathering all the news of the day before. Gives us his daily news, daily topics, and then we talk about it. And we also tend to give money away. So tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, we'll be giving money away, a lot of it. We're probably going to hit $1 million mark this week. So stay tuned. Follow us, Fomo, Rug Radio, myself, Mando, and Tyler. Do you guys like the shout
Actually,
out?
I'm giving away some money this month.
You're giving a lot of money.
Away
12 days.
$1 for every subscriber. If you go to mandominutes.com and you subscribe, we're going to give it out live on FOMO Hour on the 30th of September. Well, at the moment it's at 12 grand. So one person's going to win 12 grand cash.
Get the numbers up.
So yeah, mandominutes.com. Just go subscribe. We're going to pick someone live on the 30th.
I love that. So we're nearly at $1 million so far given away, and we're giving a lot away. So I can't wait for it. By the way, did you guys like the shout out?
I was asleep during the whole thing, but I woke up to it all. So I actually, because it started at like 1:30 my time, and I went to sleep. But yeah, I listened back through it. It was cool. OSF got one too. Yeah.
I had to try to sneak all the boys into the shout out. But anyways, Mando, there was FOMC this morning or FOMC today.
FOMC is today. Yeah. We're doing the music, or should I just go straight in?
You know what? You want the music. I know you do. Hold on.
I don't know. I just don't know when to start.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah. So as Farouk said, it is FOMC day today. It's actually one of the most uncertain FOMCs ever. Very, very rarely do you have a 50-50 split in what's going to happen here. It looks like people are debating whether it's going to be 25 bips, 50 bips. I would still err on the side of 25 bips, but you know, inflation's coming down very, very quickly at the moment in the US. Oil is getting absolutely hammered. They may decide to do 50 bips. One of the like the hawks on the Fed, but Bullard came out today and said only 25 bips is needed. So I don't know, but you'll see a lot of volatility, I think, going into that FOMC today. It will really be about what he says in the press conference too. So expect expect like Darth Maul wicks, right? Up, down, up. Like people will get absolutely liquidated on this one. I do think if he does 25 bips, he'll be super dovish because he'll need to be, and probably give forward guidance that you're probably going to see rate cuts in the dot plots for many successive FOMCs here. So it will be dovish. It's just the extent that he's going to be dovish. 50 bips might make people a little bit unsure. Like maybe they'll be scared about the economy. 25 bips, he'll get criticized for being too late. He's going to get criticized whatever he does here. In my opinion, he should have cut rates a few months ago, and now he's going to get criticized whatever he does. So expect that sort of commentary to come out. We haven't yet seen a recession. It's more still kind of soft landing with quite a lot of the metrics, but also there's a lot of uncertainty about these metrics this year. A lot of them seem to be primed for the election. Anyway, so Bitcoin dominance has really been the thing that's grown. So you've got Bitcoin dominance now heading towards 60%. I think it hit 59% roughly overnight. So breaking out to new highs. 58, remember, there had been a multi-year point of resistance and support. We seem to be breaking out to the upside there. There's nothing really new has happened in terms of the other chains. Obviously, Solana has breakpoint next week, and there's a lot of bullishness going into that, but I think a lot of positioning as well of bullishness going into that. And we've seen, obviously, some of the activity has been dying down, particularly meme coins. There was a stat yesterday, which I saw, which is over the last 2 weeks, only 2 pump.fun meme coins have even reached 200 grand. So real. The trenches are not looking too healthy at the moment. ETH, there was some FUD today, mainly just because Vitalik's up on stage at 2049.
Bullish though. Vitalik singing is bullish, no?
Who knows? It's one of these things where the price looks worse. Everything looks worse when the price goes lower. So if he's singing, if ETH's at 10K and he's singing, he's a genius. That's my guy. If it's barely holding on to 2K and he's singing, everyone's like he's lost it. So there was a bit of that this morning. I actually went viral for one of my memes, which I wasn't expecting this morning on the back of that. But yeah, definitely some FUD around ETH at the moment. It's all the same stuff. So just L1 versus L2s. In terms of other L1s which are doing well, like SUI and Phantom, those are the two to watch. They're both up about 50% in the last month each. SUI's breaking out, I think, to, again, new local highs again today. It's still down quite a bit from its cycle high, or at least this cycle high. So people are looking at it there. They announced, I think USDC is going to now be available on SUI, and obviously they got the Grayscale Trust last week. Phantom's more a story around the Sonic upgrade, which is going to be coming. They are seeing some very fast transaction speeds on Phantom on the back of that. They're more show me stories, like more Hopium style stories. I think both of them, maybe SUI is a bit more substantial than Phantom, but it's enough for people to buy into, and a lot of money which is flowing out of ETH. At least you can see it on chain is flowing into things like SUI and Phantom. Solana's that 128 level. We've kind of held on to that for a long time. It would be not great if we broke down below that level for Solana. It's been like a multi-month area of support, and we've been kind of hovering around it for a little bit here. So definitely getting people a little bit more wary on that one. That's it kind of in the majors. I think just expect some volatility today. Altcoins, like I said, Phantom and SUI are leading. Meme coins, I think Tyler can probably talk about that, but there's only really been one which has just gone absolutely crazy, and everything else has been a little bit quiet.
All right. Well, that's a good market rattle. And Tyler, I mean, I know we're closing down on time, but let's still hear what you got for us today.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis, Tyler D on FOMO hour calls the kid can't miss.
Ready to bash some bears. Yeah, I'll try to give a quick multi-day recap. High level, you didn't really miss a ton. A few macro tidbits, just adding on to Mando's. So the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges has hit multi-year lows, lowest since 2020.
There's 4 Bitcoins left, OTC.
just about. And Michael Saylor's trying to buy them all. So he's looking to do another convertible debt offering to buy upwards of 800 million more worth of Bitcoin. So he's still buying. We saw ETH Bitcoin hit new lows in the meme street. It's all about Nero. So I don't know if you saw this. Binance listed a lower market cap Nero token on ETH. There's several of these. In 3 days, it shot up 22x. It's now at $350 million market cap. It's the second biggest meme on ETH now, behind Pepe. It flipped Mog in this run. It's one of the craziest 3-day runs I've ever seen for a meme coin. It seems like everyone's been on the sidelines for it. So this is a very interesting story. Kind of how it got the listing, none of us really know. In other meme coin news, Frank, DGods on Sunday. Those of us in the U.S. we woke up to DGods launching a meme coin. It's effectively they're kind of turning their product into this. It's like a hybrid 404. You can burn your Utes or dust for the DGod meme coin, and then the DGods NFTs are convertible. One there's a ratio, but like one DGod equals 550,000 of the DGod tokens, and we can get into more of the details on that later. Base had a little bit of a rough weekend. They banned the holders of this Kamala Kaki NFT from Discord. It had downstream impacts where anyone who held those were kicked out of effectively all the other Discords they were in. Some of them were like Discord mods. So they caught some FUD for that, though it seems to be blowing over. We saw Flyfish Club, Gary V's like restaurant NFT. They settled with the SEC after allegations of selling unregistered securities. The SEC continues.
How much was the settlement?
I think 1.9 million.
Whoa.
I heard it was less than that. Is it 1.9 million? I saw 750K, but maybe I was wrong.
I thought I saw 1.9. I'd have to go back to the story. I don't have the numbers on hand with me. That's the one in my head. We saw
Gotta love Gary V, right? Gotta love Gary V. Came in, pumped up NFTs, and then is the first person to settle with the SEC to call them all securities.
God damn it.
We're all screwed. Thank you. It feels like the SEC continues to be on a warpath. I think every day this week there's been a headline, a settlement or a new target.
Jesus Christ.
From them. So it seems like headed into the election cycle, perhaps they're ramping things up in case of any changes. And that's pretty much it. Magic Eden introduced a new NFT launch pad called Magic Mocha in partnership with Animoca Brands. It's going to help funnel their pipeline of NFT products. And then in other meme coin news, Iggy Azalea, she pulled out of the debate against Eric Wall.
Did she pull out or she pulled out?
So she posted about it. Basically, she wanted to throw a curveball and do this like dance routine, and then for whatever reason they wouldn't let it happen. And then
why did she want to do a dance routine? Isn't this supposed to be a debate?
To make it more entertaining.
Yeah, I think she wanted to like they had like dancers coming on stage. I think he was going to get like a lap dance, and they were hoping for it to make it go viral. I think, to be honest, I'd rather watch that than Iggy Azalea versus Eric Wall, but. I don't really know. Don't know what to make of it.
I think there was a betting market on it as well, so there were some impacts. And she said that she called Eric, and Eric was on board with it. But apparently, other powers that be weren't.
I'm sure Eric was on board with it. I don't think Eric was really complaining there.
But in a few minutes, pull up a few charts if you can. Pull up the Nero chart on ETH.
Which one?
If you just filter by market cap, you'll see it. It's the one that's at 359 million.
What?
This is one of the wildest stories. So obviously there was the higher priced Nero coin.
Well, which one is it?
Yeah, exactly. Because remember there were the Solana Nero coins, which everyone was like, oh, is the CTO of or not? This was the ETH CTO. And Binance had to come out and actually defend what they did here, because they said that this one passed they have like 4 tests, they said, and the other Nero coin didn't pass the test, seemingly, that it was maybe too insider controlled. That's what the Binance CEO came out and said this, because obviously this is a big deal, right? Like when you list, this is easily one of the lowest coins that Binance has ever listed.
But why was it listed in the first place, even if it wasn't controlled? Like it's like a new coin. Like it shouldn't be on there, right?
I guess Nero has a stake to be one of the bigger claims to being a dog coin this cycle, right? There's been a lot of different Neros. Binance has basically decided that this one's the one. So weirdly, Justin Sun was in favor of this one, which again, like Justin Sun, I just don't know, man. I just feel like he's involved.
Okay.
So and it killed the other Nero. So we've been talking about the other Nero on this show.
What?
I just sent you the link. It had like this wild in chart. So it soared, it sold off, it soared again, and then now it's selling off again because it didn't get the Binance listing. So like a brutal chart. So now it's an
McDonald's.
Oh well, I guess the new rewards are back. Great.
Yeah. Yes, that was basically all that's really happened, and then people just dunking on each other for ETH, Solana, Bitcoin. Not a lot happening. Probably there was some stuff about prediction markets as well. Feels like the CFTC is still circling, even though they've lost these recent court cases.
Of course, they're going to try.
Yeah, they're going to keep on trying. And what else was there? No, I think that was it. I think Wintermute also launched a prediction market.
Yes, but they're launching coins, right? On Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it's like both. So it's a new prediction market. It's called an outcome market. And then effectively, like the way you bet is you get these coins. So there's a Trump coin and a Harris coin. But apparently, you can also use those in like DeFi across ETH and Arbitrum. And then Limitless also raised money to build a prediction market on Base. So yeah, a couple prediction market stories.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. All right. Well, look, that's a good roundup. We are coming up on time. And with that quick shout out to our show sponsors, Galaxis, a no-code Web3 platform that empowers creators and communities to become owners. Check out Galaxis XYZ on X. Tune in tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, for the Rollbit loot box spins. We're going to be giving away some money on the show. You absolutely love to see it. And with that, I'll see you guys on Rec Radio. I make Rec Radio. I'm ecstatic, dude. I made Rec Radio. This is crazy. You know, it's like the leveling up here is absurd. So I'll see you guys on Rec Radio at noon, an hour from now. And for the rest of y'all, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another episode of Fomo Hour on Rec Radio. Let's go.